I just want to talk to you a little bit about us. First, I want to say, join me a little bit on this journey. Picture this. It's 1955, in the dead of winter. And Dean Alexander, a handsome devil, has come home for the Christmas holidays. And he's about to marry the very sweet Nanella, who is here today with us. Drove herself, no, I thought she was going to drive herself. Could have driven herself, but she's an amazing human being. He is a freshly minted second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. And they are about to embark on a journey that will take them all over the world for decades. I don't want to forget into some of the things I'm going to say. He and Nan, 4 years earlier, put together were 10% of the graduating class in their tiny rural Kansas town. So that's where they grew up, and that's the kind of life. Mom talks about how in her family they didn't have indoor plumbing, they didn't have electricity. My father was from one of the rich families, and that meant a single bulb in the middle of the room. That was electricity. And Dean is on his way to becoming a fighter pilot for the Air Force. Over the next 2.5 decades, he serves his country all over the world as a fighter pilot, then training fighter pilots, then in various instruments and controls, air command, and he ends up his career in the town of San Antonio that he absolutely loved. Mom raised 5 children over that same time across 3 different continents. She's known for being an excellent cook, but she also ruled the 5 of us with a generous portion of practical wisdom and a touch of what I would call laissez-faire. So we didn't have helicopter parents. We had strong parents, but we had a lot of freedom, right, Amy? So we're going to fast forward to 1979, and Dad's going to retire from the military. And he wanted 2 things. He wanted to be able to own his own business. He was ready to take that leap. And he wanted to be able to work with the 3 teenagers who were still at home. So over his career, there had been great chunks of time where he hadn't been available, and 2 of us were already off to college, and so he wanted to be sure that he made the most of the time he had left with his family. So he bought one popcorn shop in a mall in San Antonio. And he bought it from a former retired Air Force colleague. And he set to work. He had lots of awards, almost immediately winning awards with the company. It turns out Dad, though he had an accounting degree, was an engineer at heart. And so he invented some processes that the company took on, developed to make product better, easier. He developed a machine that we currently use today to coat our savories because it does it gently and thoroughly and well. So he was quite the genius. In 1987, I forgot to tell you that eventually he owned 5 stores. So slowly he started to get another store, and then he needed to open up a factory that would help him supply those a little more efficiently. And then in 1987, he said there was an economic downturn, and a little kid came to the door selling a $3 bar of chocolate, and a light went off. And he put his head together with the teacher, and they developed a program to do a similar thing, selling popcorn and offering an alternative to people for fundraisers. And that decision was a game changer for his company. And at that moment, it defined who we are. It provided the missing element. He was running his business. He got to work with his family. But he got to expand his reach now to be able, what do we do? Who are we? We provide a product at a very beneficial wholesale price that allows people to raise money for all the causes and the people that they care about. that's who we are. And so it brings that passion to it. He eventually expanded. He started locally, expanded into South Texas, then he moved into a little more of Texas, and even went up a little into Oklahoma. Over the years, steadily making progress. 2.5 more decades pass. And at this point, Dean and Nan are in their early 70s. And they're ready to take it down a notch. So, in 2005, they sell the business to their 5 children. And the siblings have taken over a business that is still small, but it pays its bills and it makes a profit. So an incredible blessing for us. And fortunately, I'm not sure Dad knew that we could, but fortunately, we were able to steadily grow that over the years, continuing his legacy. In 2011, we moved into the Wiley area, into a little 5,000 square foot building, which we were able to expand in 2016, and then expand again in 2019. Continuing to grow, just slow and steady, just like Dad did. Our game changer came in 2020. There was a world crisis for us, right? And that forced the siblings to take a look at what we're doing as a company and decide what, if anything, needed to change. And we knew we didn't want to change our hearts. We didn't want to change the fundraising. We didn't want to stop making a difference in the world. But we actually took a couple of years trying different things, and most recently figured out how we can keep that legacy and move forward. We are expanding into contract manufacturing and private labeling and things where we got really good at making popcorn and we want to help other people also grow and expand by making popcorn, helping them make popcorn. Treff brings tremendous knowledge to this. That has already begun to bear fruit. It's already begun to pay off for us. Very in its infant stages. Now we stand at the precipice of change. We maintain our 100% commitment to helping people with their causes. But we want to continue to grow and employ our neighbors, benefit our community, and help our customers grow. Because we thrive when they thrive. And that's the way it should be. I want to thank every one of our people. I want to look each one of you in the eye and say thank you so much for all you do every single day. The commitment that you bring, the way you do your jobs every single day makes us awesome. And I want to thank the city and all the people in our community who support us. Here in the office, I don't mean to forget you guys. Dang, you should hear those guys on the phone with customers. They make a difference for us, and that's what we are. So in general, thank you to all of you for helping us celebrate this milestone in our history.